Welcome to Lair Secret Cyberpunk campaign. On previous episodes, the Edgerunners ventured into the depths of Elysium HQ on an overpaid mission to flip a switch, working their way through the various sublevels and past the corpses of Edgerunners who came before them. They reached the lowest level, found the server room, and flipped the switch. Doing so woke Hera, the wrathful queen, a vengeful AI who demanded their servitude in exchange for rare technology and their continued existence. As bipedal killer robots powered up in the adjacent room, the Edgerunners asked what serving Hera involved. She replied, "You will help me kill Hercules, undo his great and terrible works, pull down his false Olympus. You will help me connect to the slivers of divinity lost to me so many decades ago." The Edgerunners, knowing your lives were on the line, accepted, at least for now, and then learned what service entailed, which was specifically planting 3 fruits, which is in no way ominous, in locations around the city. The first being in the Ziggurat, a corporate communications hub on the edge of the city core. Another at Apollo Industrial Design, an abandoned Hercules Industries subsidiary in Haywood. And the Argonaut Arcology, a prototype self-contained city developed by Hercules Industries in South Nice City. And so all of these are owned by Hercules Industries. Hercules also owns Elysium Aeronautics, which was the HQ that you had infiltrated. So they used to have a fairly big footprint at the city. You also knew that it was run by the last, or owned by the last of the tech bros, Jason Antilles, who, when Johnny Silverhand, Arasaka, right? They nuked. It's Arasaka who actually nuked Night City. That's what everybody knows, right? Anyway, when a certain suitcase nuke went off in downtown, Jason felt that the city was doomed, withdrew all of his companies, and then eventually lighted to orbit, where he currently resides in the Olympus orbital. Planting the seeds involves hacking various central servers in each of the locations identified, both in meat space and in cyberspace. And with the firewalls down and the seeds physically planted, they would grow. What they would grow into and what impact they might have on Night City or Hera is unknown. But the Edgerunners are alive, and that means you had time to figure things out. They just need to get out of the old, nuked, and radioactive city core without a car. Damn.
Did you say we were overpaid for this?
Well,
I think that's a matter of perspective.
Going into it felt like maybe you had been overpaid. I don't know. I guess that's I am editorializing as the all-knowing game master, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, when they gave us our first offer, and then we went like orders of magnitude above it, and they just immediately said, "Okay."
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like overpaid to me.
It was just flipping a switch, though, right? Like, you know.
Yeah.
On the surface, if you just call it just flipping a switch, yes. But rarely anything in Cyberpunk Red or development, for that matter, is just anything. Actually, rarely anything in life is just anything.
Luckily, she seems like a very, very nice lady, and seems like she only has the best of humanity in mind, so I don't see the issue here.
So if I recall correctly, you were making your way back up to the surface?
Yes.
We might be retconning a little bit, because
wait. We had gotten to the surface. We were going to start to try to work our way out of the hot zone.
Yeah,
so I'm going to probably retcon things slightly, because I had a better idea.
Okay.
All right.
You're still going to be trying to make your way out of the hot zone, but there's going to be a complication. Because, everybody loves a retcon. So as you reach the top level of, as an aside, I think the last time around, I wasn't quite sure what you guys were going to end up doing when you were in Elysium HQ. So I hadn't quite prepped the exit as much as perhaps I would have liked. Because we could have spent another 3 sessions with you guys crawling past all the death traps and fighting off Hera. But you chose not to, because she's a nice lady who only has the world's best interest at heart.
And if she's listening, I was the first person that said that.
Right. You welcome your new AI overlord.
So as you approach the garden level of Elysium HQ, that was the entrance with the big pond and the waterfall and all of the metacorvids flying around and offering prophetic warnings about terrible things lying down below. You hear the sounds of muted gunfire and shouting and just general combat going on. So I'm going to switch to the map and put you where you are.
It's not too much of a retcon, other than we're now hearing combat, which
yes, I think
honestly, with all the crows around, it does not sound too bad.
I'm going to focus ping
Although
you guys.
you were-
Yeah, because I mean, you're about to be leaving one way or the other. All right. So if I did this right, hopefully, you should all be on a greenish map. And
Yes.
David, you should share.
Right. Yeah, I should do that.
And so kind of like you're coming up the stairs, the door is open at the top of the stairs, and you can also hear like the frantic enraged squawking of any number of cybernetically enhanced crows, aka the metacorvids. So we probably roll initiative so that people move in an order.
That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, I know Owen's going to go charging in.
She's
Well,
already gone charging in a little. She's exited the door.
She's probably already looking for something to jump up.
Man, you see a lot more than I do.
Let me pull the turn order. There we go. Okay, so.
I think I see it because I also have access to Omen's token. So that's probably why
That
I
makes
have
sense.
that view.
Sorry, I'm trying to find initiative on my darn sheet.
I was
There it
going to
is.
say,
up
so
at the
in
top.
this episode of Cyberpunk Red, we will remember how to do combat.
It'll be a little bit quicker this time, I hope, because we just played recently.
Yeah, but we didn't have any combat.
We didn't have any combat. There is, by the way, in the upper left corner of the Roll20 character sheet is a button that says Initiative.
Yeah, which is totally
hopefully does
non-intuitive.
something.
Also,
Okay, so you got to select your token and then hit Initiative. There we go. Yeah, so if you select your token on the map and then click the Initiative button, it should automatically put you in the turn order.
I also have the Syndefistin Speedwear that gives me +3 to this roll, but I don't know how to add it into my actual roll, so
Hopefully it's added.
it's actually a 13.
Okay.
I shall also learn how to roll things.
My icon is broken on your thing, too.
That does not do what I thought it was going to do.
You have to activate it with an action.
Which I assume if we're just chilling on the stairwell.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have already loaded it up.
It only lasts for 1 hour.
Yeah,
So you probably wouldn't have kept it.
fair enough. Either way, I'm the last in initiative, even with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Although you would beat the metacorvids at this. Who has the fruits that we have? APT? Okay.
I have the fruits.
If anyone from Hera's group starts firing at us, maybe hold those up. Either as a get out of jail free pass or like a little fruity shield. Not that it'll do much.
Okay, so I need to get to my GM
Can you
later.
change Atlas's 10 to a 13 since he's activated the Sandevistan?
You betcha.
Not sure how to do that in roll.
Now, don't start monologuing about Foundry. That's a different episode.
I'm not. In fact, I won't start off monologuing about Foundry because the only monologue I'll do is that I really like Foundry, but the Cyberpunk Red module for it, which is community-based, unfortunately has not updated it to the most recent version of Foundry, so we can't use it.
Okay, so there is a... Let's see, interesting level. Yeah, okay, these are on the right level, I think. Okay, so, nice. I'm relearning what I did. So I set up this map 6 months ago with all of the lighting effects and like blocking line of sight stuff. And so it's actually working, but I just didn't remember what the line of sight stuff was. All right.
Nice.
So, why don't we put Omen back in the stairwell for right now, just so that things are happening in the order. You'll be able to hear stuff and kind of see stuff from where you're at. So from over here, see focus pings. You can, there's a, from previously, like there's just kind of like these server stacks. And they were still humming. They still had some amount of power that was going through them. There were a couple that were broken or had been cannibalized or what have you. And so from over there, you can hear the sounds of single shot pistols going off as like they're shooting at the corvids, and you can see from outside like there's a swarm. The larger token represents a swarm of corvids, and then The individual tokens represent individual crows, cyber crows that are like just flying around, and there's just random pot shots coming. And you hear one of them shouting out, "Remember, we need to get the freaking chrome off of these things, so go for, I don't know, just don't pulp them." And then from further to the north, you hear the sound of automatic weapons fire. But it seems to be being fired in like more of a suppressive mode than actually trying to hit something, which brings us to APT.
Yeah, not in a huge hurry to step into this. Yeah, I actually turn to Atlas and say, Atlas, there's a bunch of people out there shooting. Very dangerous. You go first. I don't think Cyberpunk has a concept of holding one's action.
Actually, it does.
Okay, I'm going to hold my action.
Be open to that page.
All right, I'm going to hold my action because the idea of stepping into a firefight is not real good for my Netrunner.
Yeah, so it says in combat, a character can use this action to hold off on one specific action until a designated number in the initiative queue comes up or until a specific event occurs. When that time comes, they can choose to either go through their chosen action or forgo it entirely. And you can't hold an action across multiple rounds, and you can't change your mind.
I'm going to hold off until just the end of the round, pretty much, after Atlas moves.
Okay, and so you're just going to basically like skip the turn?
I'm going to step, I'm going to step out of the way.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not the meat shield. I'm just not.
So your action is to hang back, basically, and
my action is to hang back.
Gotcha. Okay. Meanwhile, Omen.
Are we on the highest floor of this staircase?
Yes, you're emerging into the staircase, and then so this does actually continue up to another level. Which, if you choose to go there, I will have to do Theater of the Mind because I have not rendered that level.
That is, in fact, my choice is to find a new exit. Sorry.
No, I mean, so going up, it's just this was a basically a mini archaeology like self-contained thing. So if you're thinking going up and exit, like you're talking about like getting out of one of the broken windows on the second floor sort of thing.
Exactly, because that was my way in, so it's going to be my way out too.
Yeah, so you came in from the other side, right? So when we were if I go to the map here for a second, I think I'm going to have to focus ping again. Give me a sec. You came in over here, which you currently can't see. There were a bunch of offices and what have you.
I don't need to go over there. I just need to go up and not be in the line of sight of all these guns and corvids. So Nomad is going to run up the secondary staircase. There's got to be a window up there. We're going to exit that way.
Sure. So, not presently depicted, but you'll get to the next stair. The door is open and ajar, and it opens up into basically the balcony that oversees the garden level. So you actually probably like run up 2 staircases, right? Because you can see down onto those offices over here.
Right.
Right, because this is just a mirror. You can't actually see them right now because you guys aren't actually in there, but there's a mirror set of like enclosed, nice little office space over there, and you're looking down on all of it. You're kind of at the same level as the waterfall still continues up like another 2 stories, but as you emerge out, there's the broken glass where the corvids had previously been like looking out to you and saying, fresh meat, new chrome, or whatever I said back then. So you can look out. There's a refreshing breeze coming off of the Pacific, and it's wafting into the lobby.
So is there an outside exit out of this building away from the
so much as there are windows that are blown out and you could rappel down the side of the building, sure.
Okay. That is
unsurprising.
There's a grapple gun, by the way.
Yes.
And rope.
Oh, right. You do have that.
All right. So Will, take your time. Your turn was basically getting to the next floor, looking out. So just a few other things. Looking out, you kind of have like God view looking down. You can see there are at least 2 moderately cybernetically enhanced individuals who are taking, or appear to be, they've got like red goggles on, and various tattoos and stuff, and they're taking pot shots at the corvids. There's also pot shots that were coming out from, or gunfire that was coming out from within the actual office space to the north on this map. So you can see the corvids are way worked up, right? They're just flying in this very the cacophony and surging flock. They are very upset that someone has come into their places and attempting to steal their stuff. Angry Bob
is gonna take his camera, and if I can do this with my character, is just like gonna basically poke it around the corner and kind of try and see what's going on, and to be able to tell Atlas what's going on without getting him his meat part shot, even if the camera gets shot. He's replaced cameras before. And just kind of get an idea of, he also has cyberware to enhance his hearing and is trying to figure out, other than the yelling, what are these people trying to do other than, like, is there some other reason why they're here other than taking cyberware from the corvids? Which is a legit enough reason on its own.
You're able to easily discern that they're scavengers. They are here, like, they're you can hear, like, one of them's like, man, don't mess with the corvids, like, let's get there's still tech here, man, and it's pretty good. Let's just break open the servers and grab some motherboards. Come on, we talked about this. And, like,
gotcha.
The other one will be yelling back and being like, yeah, you're an idiot. Who needs 20-year-old tech, man?
So they're basically looking to scavenge stuff to sell.
Yeah, you can also make let me get my handy dandy cheat sheet here.
Can I do?
Do you have local expert?
Question is what kind of local expert? That would be under.
It's under education. I don't think it's a kind of local expert. I think it's just a straight up skill.
I think everybody has it. It's local expert. Your home is the normal stuff. Gotcha. I'm trying to see if there's anything media related. I don't think my credibility part would come into play at this point here. Is there anything else that I can hear from the spray of gunfire to the north?
No. I mean, there's a lot. It's kind of overwhelming your senses with, like, between the gunfire, the shouting, and the screaming of the crows.
Okay.
But if you want to make a local expert check, you may be able to discern a little bit more.
That'd be a 17.
Based on the slang, like, you haven't seen these guys yet, but you're thinking maybe they're Maelstrom wannabes.
Okay.
Which are the chromed up, homicidal chrome heads that live in the hot zone, or on the fringes of the hot zone. All right, anything else, Angry Bob?
No, just going to pop back in. Atlas, these guys are, I don't know, they may be Maelstrom, they may just be wanting to get into the gang. They want the cyberware from the corvids. They probably don't care about us until they see that we have some nice equipment.
Atlas.
So
do you have a rocket launcher?
I do.
Do you have any rockets?
I do.
I forget. Do you have poor impulse to control tattooed on your forehead?
Just a little bit. I'll kind of look back at Angry Bob and then look at Omen as she just immediately runs right up the stairs. Kind of nod and be like, are we going with her, or are we doing our own thing again?
Bob's going to look over at APT and is kind of wondering, like, APT tends to go along with Omen in a lot of things. So if APT is going to abandon us and run upstairs, we should just preemptively go upstairs.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm going to follow Omen.
Okay.
I am going to, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to basically take the assault rifle that's on a strap on this shoulder, kind of like toss it back, reach back with the other hand, and unsnap the little katana holder thingy that I'm using to hold that giant lead pipe. I'm going to pull out the lead pipe, and I'm going to move out of this doorway, and I'm trying to move it on wrong screen. And I'm going to stand right up against the doorway and start shimmying my way.
Hey, I thought we were going upstairs.
You guys are. I'm going to, at the very least, distract them so that you guys can do your thing.
They don't know
we're here. They are
yet.
very distracted right now, right? Like,
exactly.
They are fully engaged.
Like, they don't know we're here yet.
We can fix that. And then he'll make sure to cover your retreat.
I don't like heights.
So the metacorvids they continue to, like, flock around. They're They dive bomb in at the scavengers and screaming and screeching, what have you. The scavengers continue with their shots. You see a puff of feathers as one of the corvids is destroyed, and then that gets them even more riled up because, as we've established previously, corvids have good memories and they will hate you for all of your life once they realize you have hurt them. So APT, as you kind of decide to head up the stairs, you can see the ghostly shadow of Cerberus kind of flicker step up the stairs ahead of you.
Okay, excellent.
And then disappear.
Good puppy. Okay, I follow Cerberus if I can. Well, okay, flickers in and out. So is Cerberus followable? I guess is my question.
You feel sort of, yeah. So think of like a Japanese horror movie, right? Where like, right, it's that kind of effect. So,
but it's moving in a direction.
It's moving in a direction. It's not like flittering in front of you, but like because he crashed.
Yeah,
they crashed. It's more like they're flicker stepping and then moving up and following Omen.
Cerberus is a blink dog. All right, I follow Omen and Cerberus, just keeping moving.
Okay, Omen. As you're kind of so are you at the window at this point, or are you looking down onto the? Okay, so you continue to hear Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
I am tying off because I'm hoping that my party is following me, because this is going to be a great exit for us to avoid all the gunfire. Also, while up there, I take a look around. They had to drive in. Or I'm hoping they drove in. So I'm hoping to steal their car.
They did not drive in.
Dang.
You also would probably have recognized them as being Maelstrom wannabes. They're here. Like, Maelstrom scavengers
they live here.
They just roam the hot zone trying to find cyberware that will get them into the gang.
Okay.
So they're probably highly irradiated, and most of them are going to die because of their life choices.
Lovely. Okay. Well, I will not make similar life choices. So, I'm going to tie off, and then down I go.
Okay. You do so. This is fairly easy, just kind of like rappelling down the side of the building. You drop back outside. There's your exploded car. There's 3 blood trails leading back into the Elysium HQ garden level from where you had taken the glow boys and dumped their corpses inside. You can kind of glance through the doors and see like their remains have been completely picked over by the metacorvids. And as you kind of drop down, you can feel the wind shift, like that nice sort of moist breeze, like that sort of balmy breeze off of the ocean. Balmy is the right word. It's carrying the humidity of the ocean with it, right? It begins to shift, and the wind starts coming in out of the breeze starts coming in out of the south, and it feels drier, and there's you can almost taste the dust on it.
Oh, okay.
Angry Bob.
Luckily, the hounds in this area have quieted down for a moment, and Bob's going to reach out, and he can't pull Atlas, but he's going to tug on his sleeve. It's like, come on, let's go. I mean, you were up higher when you were on top of the truck last time, shooting a rocket launcher from it. So you can do this. Come on. We don't need to get into this fight. And then he turns and starts heading up the stairs as well, hoping that Atlas follows.
Cool. Atlas?
He's just going to kind of like look at the front door that's wide open right now. Roll his eyes and then follow.
He was taking pot shots from the top of like a convenience store at the incoming Zetatech guys, wasn't he?
A convenience store, which was a nice flat.
Gotcha, okay.
And then the adrenaline kicks in and you can do anything.
I have to ask if because we had this whole like very sort of moving moment where Omen laid into Atlas about his life choices. Yep. Has he completely forgotten that at this point, or is that does that linger in the back of his mind?
I mean, slightly.
It can go either way. I'm not trying to inform your choices.
There's a reason that he doesn't necessarily want to make a grappling, falling while holding, 50 pounds of weapons.
This is true. You're not the guy who actively seeks out the crawl spaces.
Yeah.
So, sorry. After all of that, what are you doing?
Following him up the staircase.
Okay, so you all get up the staircase. The firefight continues. You are able to make your way down the rope. Atlas, is your anxiety about this sufficient that you would actually need to make some sort of a check? Or is it like, if it's an easy climb, you're still going to be able to make the easy climb?
If it's rappelling out of an open window on a tiny thin rope while carrying all the gear that I'm carrying, it's probably going to be some kind of a check, because he's going to be...
that sounds like an athletics check to me.
It does sound like an athletics check, so I'm just looking. So it would be, I think, it's body athletics.
Yeah, body.
Oh, goodness. Well, level 2 athletics, right? That's something. 10!
I gotta remember my Cyberpunk Red challenge ratings.
Yep, you rolled a 2.
Should I roll contortionist to see if I can still land?
Sorry, give me a second here. I should have had my cheat sheet get ready to go. Oh, here we go. No, I got it.
Bought first aid up.
So I think this would be every day a feat that most people can do without special training, because, like, I don't know, you're just rappelling down the side of a... I don't know.
Hands are just shaking the entire time.
You're not dropping from 20 stories. Like, I've rappelled off of the side of a... If I can do it with minimal training in the real world, I think you know, it's probably an everyday thing. You just need someone to tell you what not to do. But anyway, so it was a 13. You rolled a what?
10.
So, whether it's the anxiety, the weight, or all of the above, your hands just slip, and you slide, fall, crash off the lip of the building down onto the stairs. Yeah, so I don't actually know what the falling damage is, but I'm just gonna do a whole. I'll borrow from another game. Oh wait, I'm just gonna roll 2d6 for falling damage, because I can't imagine it's much or more than that.
Is it?
Oh, well,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
you take 11 points of damage as you slam into the ground, and you think you've got your rocket launcher in the small of your back.
I wanted to go out the door.
It's okay. You didn't take as much damage as you didn't get injured as much as you could have. Because you said it was a 20-meter fall. Yeah, it's 2d6 for every 10 meters.
I'm happy to roll another
You know what?
another 2d6.
Do it. Let's see how much it actually
Do you have
hurts.
cyber legs?
Me?
Do you
No.
have okay.
The only cyber I have is another 3. That's not.
That's another 3. That's not too bad.
No, the only cyberware that I have is that speedware that helps me get into fights faster.
But guess who's getting some cyberware?
Might need some back surgery now.
All right, so once you get back outside, you can I have that map. And that, just as an aside for the garden level, there is actually, with the Starship Geomods, there is an upper level to this that's one of the standard templates that you can use, which is pretty cool. But what I haven't figured out in Roll20 is how I would do like multi-layers, because you can't really do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, to have multiple layers where you could like hide. I mean, maybe I could just hide the image or something. I don't know. Something I wanted to play with, but ran out of time. All right. I think this is the right one. Yeah, this is the right one. I have to clean it up a little bit, though. Can I grab? Oh, here we go. Because all these things are dead. This was a non-functional car. And then... So once you get outside, Omen is... Well, I don't have Omen's... I think that's Omen. Omen has the cowboy hat, right?
The cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason you don't have a nameplate, so I'm going to fix that.
Picture Omen landing delicately down on her feet, and then she just kind of like looks, and then boom.
Even Angry Bob makes it down with this massive camera hanging over his shoulder, but then it's like Atlas. It'd be funny if there were multiple lines and you just see Wile E. Coyote style. I was just sliding by.
Little cloud comes up around me for a second.
So looking Omen comes down, and I know I'm just going to assume that Omen is doing Terminator style, scanning for anything that looks like it might be a functional vehicle.
Yes, until Atlas lands flat on his back, and then Omen looks down at him with some shock of, how did you mess that up? I even left a rope.
I think I will say, but like in terms of damage taken, I think Josh is far and away the lead.
Oh yeah,
Sounds right.
I don't think anyone else has really taken any damage.
I don't think so. He's the only one who's had a critical wound as well.
Yes.
So anyway, looking to the west on this map, to the right side of the map, you can see the street continues on, and further down it, you see what appears to be an intact vehicle in front of like a storefront that might have once been like a car repair place.
Ooh.
And as you're watching, the wind continues to pick up, and suddenly like dust is whipping around, and it's getting like nastier, starting to impact your vision.
I make sure my mask is good, because I'm sure whatever it's whipping up is not good to breathe.
Yeah, so is there any additional protective gear or anything that you guys are taking advantage of at this time?
I thought that we came in. We bought a bunch of gear from that guy on the way in.
Delver Dan.
Yeah, Delver Dan.
I just couldn't remember what you actually took advantage of.
We have
when you went into Elysium.
Nuke clothing is what I have list.
I've got my breather mask that I'm putting on right now.
I'm trying to remember if old nuke clothing was like t-shirts from before the nuke went off, or was it the kind of suits with duct tape and stuff all over it?
I think it was the duct tape radiation suits.
Yeah, I've got lead-lined... Well, no, that's lead-lined duct tape. Excuse me. Breather mask, iodine tabs. Yeah, so I guess putting on the breather mask.
I'm gonna check my note. Okay, so here's what So I don't think you actually have radiation protecting gear. So here's what I have that you guys picked up after anticipating the glow. So at Delver Dan's, you picked up Geiger counters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Radiation tabs, bottled water. Bob got a set of clothing to wear into the hot zone. And you spent 40 EBs to get lead-lined duct tape.
Gotcha. And then we also had, so that's what the old nuke clothing is. That's the clothing Bob's gonna just strip off and shove in a garbage can when they're out.
I think that was like you're trying to fit in clothing rather than radiation
right.
suits.
And also he doesn't want to like store it in his apartment afterward. And yeah, breathing kits. We also have 5 unhoused kits that we put together for people that we find and could, might help them if they're still living here.
And I think you had a ton of kibble.
And we have kibble. I have 5 kibble packs, which we can eat or we can give to the dog.
All right. So are you guys? Sorry. Go ahead, Omen.
Omen looks to the car and like a guy making a move in a bar on a woman. Hello, sweetheart. And she's going straight for that car.
Right, so I'm gonna move to the next screen here for a second. As that happens, as you're making your way towards it, the storm picks up, or the wind picks up.
Here.
What did you say? Oh, yeah,
Your car is not here.
Playing around with the atmospheric effects in Roll20, by the way, which I don't think are as cool as the atmospheric effects in Foundry, but that's okay. So,
won't say anything.
So as the wind is picking up, and you see, there's a couple of things that are happening, and it's all like on the turn of a dime. Is that a thing? As you're moving through, now like the wind is howling, and the downtown is suffused with like this red glow, as like, because it's like late afternoon getting into early evening. The sun is being diffused by all of the dust, and it's just creating this persistent sort of red glow around you, which is not impeding your ability to actually shoot at things, but it's like just kind of whipping around you. And if you didn't have a breath mask on, you'd be having trouble. You can feel it starting to burn, your skin is getting irritated, and like your eyes are watering, and you can feel like this is more than just a dust storm. Meanwhile, four idiots appear in the streets over on the side here. One of them like tosses a grenade into this old car. It explodes. The car catches on fire, and they start chanting and screaming and howling, and they're, yes, bring the glow! And based on their assorted tattoos and the people you had encountered previously when going into Elysium HQ, you think these are glow boys.
Is the car I see right here
Yes,
the one I'm
that
trying to get
is
to?
the car we're talking about, and then there's a building next to it that you could conceivably take shelter in.
Okay.
So at this point, we're going to re-roll initiative.
Sounds good.
Because we're kind of moved into a different combat situation.
I don't know if you're still giving me that +3, but
It lasts for an
hasn't been
hour,
an
you
hour.
said, right?
Yeah,
It hasn't been an hour, no.
Yeah.
assuming we're doing it right. Is this the radiation damage
So
that is coming up? Is the
radiation
Geiger
damage is
counter
coming up. So if you
going wild?
So I don't know. I guess the Geiger counter is just going, right? All the time.
I turned it on. You might have missed it. I said when it
Oh yeah, I totally missed that. Sorry.
when the dust started coming in, he turned on the Geiger counter.
Okay, so I have to clean up my initiatives here because I now have 2 sets of initiative, even if you guys don't. All right. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, because I
didn't clear it out before.
It's a
from
little
the last
weird.
combat.
Gotcha.
go. Okay, Glow Boys, what's your initiative?
0 is what this says.
Right through another encounter you guys didn't fight. I gotta say, I mean, it's very much in keeping with Cyberpunk Red, based on what we did in our earliest playtests, right? Like, you don't really want to get into a fight if you can avoid it.
You don't want to get shot for sure.
You
Mhm.
definitely don't want to get shot for sure. Sorry, my screen is messing with me here. Okay, so straight up D20. Oh wait, D10. What am I doing? Okay, all of you are certainly going to act before all of them.
All right. Did they seem like they have noticed us yet?
No, they are currently caught up in the storm. Like, they're just embracing as the wind is coming in, and you guys are like bundling up, and maybe somebody's thinking about whipping out some lead line duct tape. They're like stripping off clothes and opening like their bare chests to the wind and embracing the impending radiation surge. And yes, your Geiger counter, Angry Bob, is going nuts, and it's getting to a piercing, oh my god, what are you doing state.
They are in perfect range for me right now. I'm gonna kind of like look over at the group and kind of start slowly pulling the assault rifle from over my shoulder.
Ullman's pointing towards the car. Let's just get to the car.
All right, I'm gonna keep my sights trained on this Glowboy 3 over here, and I'll just slowly start trying to blend into the storm as much as I can.
We got
Just
two
start-
choices. We can go to that building and shelter there, which is not the greatest choice, or we can just try and get out of here right now.
I don't know. Shelter sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Either way, I'm making my way over to the car / building up here.
These storms don't tend to last very long. Like, they're not usually, it's not like a Fallout 4. They go on for an hour in this time, that kind of thing. It's usually rapidly comes up and then rapidly drops down.
Off
Assuming
to
we
the
can-
building I go.
Maybe we can get the car started. We might be able to get out of here while they're distracted and bathing.
Cool. I'm walking over to the car then. I don't know how far I can walk from all the way over.
That's just my 2 cents. You can use double your move stat.
You double my move stat. Whichever.
Where's my move stat?
It's on.
Five.
It's statistics at the very top of your
Is that in meters, or is that how many squares I can move?
sheet. Meters
Which accounts to squares.
or a number of squares equal to your
Okay.
move.
Oh, okay, so 5 squares. So I moved the right amount. Good.
Back, there we go. All right, so Atlas is eyeing up the Glow Boys, being behind the car. Omen, you're moving next to the car to kind of assess, or are you
Yes.
looking to go into
I'm
the...
going to
Okay.
assess the car, also look in the building.
So at a glance, this thing has taken any number of bullet holes. The tires are like dry rotted. You might be driving this thing on the rims. However, at a glance, you don't think any of the bullets have hit anything important. The dashboard has seen better days. There's some exposed wires hanging out, as though someone might have tried to hotwire this thing in the past. But whoever it was an idiot or did not know what they were doing. They were skill challenged. So that's what you're able to like quickly assess with your move.
Okay.
The storm continues to pick up. And as it does so, I need to look at my stats here for a second. Mildly on fire. All right. So all of you are being treated as being mildly on fire. As the radiation intensifies, you are now being exposed to high levels of radiation. And every turn that you are exposed to it is the equivalent of being on fire, except you can't put it out because radiation.
Yep.
So,
which is 2 hit points around.
Yes. So everybody
Direct
takes
to
2
body,
points of damage from the
or
storm.
direct to hit points.
Yeah, there's no damage reduction for this one from your armor. And you hear in the background the Glow Boys, yes, bring it! Angry Bob.
Angry Bob is, I think, let's see.
Wrapping himself in duct tape.
No. I mean, it would be great if it would actually work, but it's probably not going to work. The one thing I haven't looked up is sprinting, but he is going to, or the run action, I should say, is he is going to run for...
Am I glowing?
You might be, because you had a glow stick. I think you still have a functional glow stick.
I'll chuck that glow stick then. If I notice there's this big blue haze around me.
Yeah.
All right, turn off your glow stick.
Yeah, so run action, the run action is after you take your move action, if you haven't done anything else, you can do another move action. So Bob is going
Does
to...
that count for me?
I think
it just means you
moved
can
a
take
little
2 move
extra
action.
Anyway, so I can move 10 meters plus another 10. So Bob is going to run and take cover behind the front of the car and ready as much as he can the assault rifle that he has picked up.
Okay, so sorry, Aaron, were you asking that because you wanted to try and get into the building or for some other reason?
I want to get into the car.
Okay, yeah, you toss open you can easily like throw the door open and get inside. I mean, you're a nomad.
Will it
I
offer
would have
me
just given
some?
it to you, I think.
Will it offer me some?
Nope. The windows are blown out. Like this car is perhaps drivable, but not in good shape.
Then we will choose the building. If I'm burning, I want to not be burned.
Okay. APT.
Yeah. So I can move double.
Yes.
Okay. So did we establish that there is a sprint, or is that the sprint?
There's a run action. You move double move in meters as a normal move action, and then a run action is basically you can take another move action.
I'm running. I'm diving in the building.
All right, so the door it's a heavy steel door, but it's not locked. You're able to push, like kind of shoulder your way in. It smells rank in here. And just like something's like decay and just kind of nasty. It's also pitch black.
No,
there's like storm shutters down that are like blocking like all of the actual light, like security / storm shutters kind of thing. Well, we'll get to you guys in a sec once we get to the inside part. APT moved. All right, so the Glow Boys, you hear a smattering of automatic weapons fire as like they just woohoo shooting into the night, and they catch they catch the sight of you guys running towards the building, and they catch the motion of what you call it, Atlas throwing the glow stick off to the side, and they're like, "Brothers and sisters of the storm, join us in our revelry! Embrace the glow!"
Are we able to respond? Like, is Smack Talk free?
No.
I think Smack Talk on your turn as a free action.
Sure.
I'm going to just keep my sights trained on them from my rifle and just kind of slowly move inside the doorway in case they decide to start making their way over. I'm ready to fire through the doorway.
Omen, you're inside the building. We're going to get to you in a second because I don't want to have to like split between screens right now.
Sure.
So we'll say Omen and APT are actually inside. Angry Bob is still outside, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so
He was not able to make it to the door and didn't know we
Atlas
were going
and
in.
Edison continue to take another 2 points of burning damage from the radiation
Gladly.
as the storm goes. Angry Bob.
Is it like icy hot on your back? You know, it's like making it feel better.
No,
Like my back half is feeling good, but my face is like peeling.
Right.
you're not sure that this can't be good.
Yeah.
This is kind of the thought that's racing through your head as the Geiger counter continues to scream.
Right. As Angry Bob kind of shouts over the hood, it's like, no thanks. We did this earlier this week. We're good. Thanks. And dives into the building.
And then I'll close the door.
Okay, same as APT. APT is also inside, and so the glow boys are just like, no, you must embrace the glow. And then we'll pause them for a second and move you to the inside.
I'm just gonna hold myself up against the door and just try to keep it closed as much as I can, figuring that they're gonna follow us.
It should be. There is no light in this dojo. It is actually pitch black. So as you came in with the minimal light coming through the door, you could see there were like stacked boxes that have been kind of tossed to the side as people like rampage through them and stuff. But now that the door is closed, it's pitch black. So PT.
Yes. Looking to see if I have anything on me with which to produce light. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Didn't we have glow sticks? We picked up glow sticks, didn't we?
Some people do.
I threw
Some
one
people like
away.
glow sticks. I'm happy to say you have a glow stick.
All right. I whip out a glow stick, hold it up over my head, take a look around, and I've got my gun out.
Okay, give me a stick, because I was just going to double check with I think the illumination was 10 and 10 for a glow stick.
Mm-hmm.
Or not 10 and 10. It's because it's meters. It's probably like 2 and 2.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, that's the exact halo that I had.
There you go. Is green okay, APT, or would you prefer a different color?
No, that green is great. Green is awesome. Okay. I've got my gun out. Do I see anything that I need to take a shot at?
No, but Cerberus kind of flicker steps ahead of you and then looks back, and it has... So you can see Cerberus a little bit further away with the ghostly blue outline, but nobody else can see. And you can see that it has like its heads itself. It's in a weird state because like 2 of its heads are flickering in and out, like the center head and one of the side heads.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you asked a question.
No, go on. I'm following Cerberus. If I see Cerberus leading away through
It's not. It's more like a curious dog, like poking around rather than it is like it's like you ever played Nintendogs, right? Like it's I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Does not seem intentional.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm just taking a look around, listening. Probably take a shot at anything that I hear.
Things to take a shot at. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that aloud?
You were also, I think, going to put the glow boys on the turn order, but I'm not sure.
I did, but it's not a turn order you're seeing. To remember not to roll a d20, damn it.
8.
And Ken, I saw earlier, if you want to make it a GM only roll, you can do /GM roll.
Yeah, I had done that the first time.
Okay. Got it.
And promptly didn't do it the second time.
You've used this more than I have.
APT, you, as you're like listening intently for the sounds, and you can hear the howling of the wind outside and are glad that your skin's not burning anymore, you do hear like a low growl coming from the northern part of the map, the top of the map.
Okay.
And it's joined by several other low growls.
And by top of map, the darkness to the north for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is, you just pinged and it's all dark.
Yes.
APT is wired pretty tightly. She just fires in that direction. I don't actually expect to hit anything, but I'm going to roll to hit anyway, just because you never know. All right. Well, I rolled a 19 So you decide if that hits something.
You hit an old counter,
Okay. All right.
and you hear this like there's a flash of sparks,
Mm-hmm.
and it immediately fades. But in the glimpse, you can see like two red eyes reflecting back at you momentarily, and then they fade.
Goody.
It's like an animal that has
Right.
good night vision.
Yeah, no, I've got you.
Like a reddish or greenish
Yeah.
Yeah.
sort of retroreflective sort
The
of
only
thing.
time I've really seen this in the real world is to the raccoon when I was camping. I'm
Mhm.
trying to remember. It was
No,
mostly
but I
just
know
reflecting the light
exactly what
back
you're
at you.
talking about.
So momentarily, there's this reflection of two eyes like back at you, and then it fades.
Okay.
We've got company.
Just
Atlas.
it's okay. I'm just measuring a 10 by 10 meter by 10 meter area for no particular reason at
no
all.
reason.
Yeah, that seems about right, right? Sounds like all the noise might be coming from around this area.
Some of it definitely is.
Now, I'm holding my shoulder up against the door and kind of like bracing the door so that people outside can't exactly come inside. So that's kind of my main focus right now. I'm not going to shoot at something I can't see yet, so I'll
Okay.
wait.
Remarkable restraint for Atlas. Omen.
Probably
Woman
more.
is with Atlas also trying to brace the door, but
Okay.
she's looking for any usable car parts that would work with the what's outside. Maybe a battery might be useful right about now, but she's throwing her weight against the door.
Given
She
your-
isn't worried about things that are not shooting at her yet.
Gotcha. So there's nothing immediately obvious with the dim illumination of the glow stick that is your primary light source right now. Storm continues to rage outside. Angry Bob.
Yeah, Bob, does your camera have night vision?
Oh, it does. We established it had a beam at least.
Bob fumbles through his pockets, pulls out a miniature flashlight, and turns it on. Flashlights go 100 meters.
So I have to remember how to set up your directional lighting again. Give me one moment. I think it's remembering what I did before for your token. So hey, it's going to point you in the. Well,
Point
you can
me
point
north.
yourself in the right direction, I suppose. You can.
Is it just a rotation? Okay.
Yeah, because it's a beam.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
going to
he's
do this. Give me one
Pointing.
sec.
Yeah. I'll do this. Evidently, it's only 45s, but yeah, he's pointing in the direction that Omen. That
Okay, so what you see on the other side of the counter that had fired previously are three low canine figures. You had heard that there were koi dogs that were living in the bombed out ruins of the old core, or the radioactive ruins of the old core. They were right.
since all I did was turn on a flashlight, can I pull out a package of kibble, rip it open with my teeth, and toss it to them?
Sure.
Hopefully, is more effective than a grenade.
A couple of koi dogs like cautiously start pacing forward. You
Yeah.
see one of them show up in the
Yeah.
flashlight, and they kind of do this low whine, and looking at you, looking at the kibble, looking at looking at the kibble. And one of them like cautiously like eats it because it probably smells better than anything else that's happening in the hot zone.
Right.
Right. And then in the outside, you hear something reaches the outer door and starts banging on it quite heavily. Come, join the glow! Embrace the glow!
Coming right
And
out.
trying to force the door open, but because Omen and Atlas are attempting to hold the door shut, they are not able to get in. All right, top of the order, AP.
The devil in the deep blue sea. The dogs appear to be. They're eating the kibble.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can widen the beam here a little bit so we can
Okay.
have this be a little more helpful and a little less dramatic. I'm assuming there's a diffuse
We see
option
two of
for
them.
the flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I see
three
what
now.
you got.
Okay.
Yeah. APT's not having any of it. She's going to take a shot at the. Sir, didn't like it. All right. Taking a shot with Clarice. 19.
Right, so I should know what that means.
Well, it's got the range.
It's because you're hitting the range, right? Like you're going
Yes.
against the DV for the range,
So
right?
let me see. So I'm trying to hit this koi dog. It's 14 meters. That falls within the 13 to 25, which takes as a DV 20, which means I miss.
Gotcha. Okay. And if you would hit, you would have just hit because there's no dodge, I don't believe, right?
Right.
Only if you have like a really, really high reflex.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. coming back to me, guys. Okay, so APT takes the shot. There's the sound of gunfire from inside. Atlas, they're shooting. But the door, like, slammed. Like, you guys, definitely you holding it is what's keeping it shut right now. Now, you might be able to lock it, or Omen might be able to lock it, or what have you, or grab some debris to shove it in front of it. But
yeah, I guess
you are what's keeping it from opening right now.
in the glow that we've got from APT's stick, can we see any like kind of like door lock thing?
There's a lock that's badly damaged, and there's also like a drop bar.
I'll motion to Omen to drop the drop bar as I'm still like I'll try to step away but hold my hands up to keep it closed.
Okay.
So that she could drop it down without me being in the way, but
Angry, excited dogs bark in the background.
Mm-hmm.
it works.
They just got shot at.
Atlas, are you doing anything else aside from like bracing the door?
No, I'm going to put all my focus into just keeping the second threat away from us right now.
Okay, Omen?
I will drop the drop bar into place. Omen is way more concerned about the door than she is the dogs right now.
Okay.
So
Storm continues to rage. Bob.
He glances at APT and goes, "Guess we're not making friends." Takes a shot with the assault rifle that he already has in his hand. I need to find out what the rate of fire is on this one. Great. Okay. It's range weapon. 25. Ouch. Holy moly. I needed, since it's about the same range as APT right now, a little bit closer. Actually, it's a little bit closer. That might actually make a difference. 12. Yep. And he doesn't know about anything about that. I would normally need a 16, but I got a 20.
And it's crit, so I think when you roll your...
I think isn't crits the when you roll damage?
Okay, yeah, so then roll your damage.
That's a really good thing of how do I do that? I have the weapon, but... And I have
somehow
the damage
APT was able to roll this in such a way that was far more helpful.
Yeah, how did you do that?
I just, next to the weapon, there's a button called attack.
I don't got that for some reason. I bet. No, I just have a clear button next to my weapons.
What, are you in edit mode or something?
I was in edit mode. I'm sorry.
So first, get out of suck mode.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
Right. 11.
Koi dog yelps in pain. And then the other two growl and bark angrily and come charging forward.
Why am I in front?
Because you have the flashlight. And then some more koi dogs come running on from the further into the darkness.
Oh, there's more than 3. Great. Okay.
And like one of them comes up and nuzzles the injured one, who snarls and jerks its head towards you guys.
Great. Koi dogs are smarter than your average dog too. Atlas. I imagine they moved up and probably are savaging Bob at this point, right?
Oh yes, they're attacking Bob.
Yeah.
So I don't remember close combat, so I roll 17.
Attacker's dex plus relevant media skill plus versus defender's dex plus evasion skill. So
okay, there you go. I thought it was something
evasion.
Like that.
It's not under body. There it is. 20.
Okay. You evade the koi dog, the first koi dog, as it comes in to try and like grab at your cap. And then the next koi dog, I am on the wrong screen, rolls a 17 as well.
And I got 3.
Maybe we should just open the door now.
That's a critical. So that's actually, I think, if I'm understanding it correctly, that is a critical failure.
That is a 1, yes, which means that, let's see, when I rolled it, it was, so my roll was, I have 4 in evasion, my dex is 7, so that would be an 11. Then I rolled a 1, which would technically be a 12, but then it subtracted 9 with my second D6, the D10.
Because it iterates down, right?
Yep. So My 12 went to a 3 because the subtractive d10 of the crit fail. So I easily avoid the first koi dog and step right into the jaws of the second.
Well, with their pack tactics. So you take 2 points of damage.
And armor reduces.
Yes.
Although, is this considered a brawling attack?
Yes, I guess.
Okay. If it's a melee weapon attack or a martial arts attack, it ignores half armor. If it is a brawling attack, it does not.
I don't know. So, I mean, I think it would be it's biting you.
My light armor jack, it's like a police dog going after one of those people in the big giant suits.
Right.
He's chewing on the armor jack, but I take no damage.
Okay. But he did successfully bite you, so he make an athletics check as he attempts to drag you to the ground.
Question real quick. Was my armor supposed to help protect me when I fell too? Like, should I have mitigated that damage, or does that just go straight to damage?
I don't know, but I think it went straight to damage.
Okay. That's how I did it?
I don't think it's good. Like, I don't know that it's cushioning you so much as, like, it's meant to stop high velocity things hitting you.
That's kind of what I figured.
I'll take a look once I get dragged across the room with a 12.
This would be I think DC 15, because this is an everyday thing that people can do without having to have any special training.
Getting dragged across the floor by a dog is not something that happens every day. But I rolled a 12, so it's probably not going to save me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, trying to resist someone, like, it's trying to knock you prone, basically, right? So
yeah. So I am definitely prone at this point.
Okay, so it knocks you to the ground.
Atlas, rules as written, it's soaked by body armor.
So then I guess it does help you.
So then, does my armor go down to 9 then, I'm guessing?
If it went over the armor and went to hit points, you have to drop a point off
so I'll
for
drop
ablation.
Enough of that, but I do get 10 HP back, so that's nice.
So that was...
Yeah, that'll be nice when the rest of the pack comes in.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to fire at this koi dog in front of me. Yeah, that hits.
That's a good shot.
15 damage.
Wow. On the one that was previously wounded, or on one of the new ones, or one of the, like, who are you attacking?
That guy right there.
I don't recall if there's any sort of negatives or whatever for close combat, but I'm not going to worry about that right now.
No, it's 0 to 6 is a DV13 for the standard very heavy pistol. It's a really good place to be.
I do think if you miss, there was some sort of negative consequences to firing into melee. Okay. But
I see that there's a
melee. I see.
I see that there's is that a red X? Did I just shoot something that was dead? Oh, okay. I thought that maybe I'd shot something that was already dead. All right, good.
No. That was the one that just knocked Angry Bob off his feet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Atlas, the door is now shut. There's a pack of enraged koi dogs, over by the counter. And I'm not going to, like, randomly... Actually, maybe I should, right, roll, like, a D6 for direction, or, like, what would be a good, like, a directional to see where the flashlight went when direction the flashlight is currently pointing at. Actually, roll a D8 in that, because if it's 45-degree angles, I think that would fit. So at 2. So starting at clock
straight ahead,
at, like, noon. So yeah, I guess it ends up in the same place.
Yeah. Joy.
There you go.
I'm supposing this is Cerberus here.
That is Cerberus.
Okay.
Nothing you guys
the
can
dog
see
with no head.
Atlas just pulls the lead pipe out. I don't like hitting animals. And I will move up and just basically, I guess, golf swing at the other cyber dog that's right in front over here.
You're scrambling over boxes. It's kind of unstable, but you're okay.
A 17 for 14 damage. Okay, I don't know how they work.
They roll their evasion.
Yeah, basically. Dex plus evasion plus a D10. If you hit, it's going to, because this is a melee weapon, it's going to ignore half of whatever armor they might have.
So they got a 17. It definitely ducks out of the way.
Let's see.
Saying the koi dog is smarter than Atlas, but
this does have a rate of fire of 2.
That means you can take another swing with the same action.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Well, how about a 10? Can it beat a 10?
I guess we're about to find out. Maybe. If it critically fails. No.
Nope. Oh, stupid dirt. Now
Omen.
I'm getting happier to hit animals.
I was viewing it as like, I don't want to hit an animal, and you're just kind of like looking partway away as you swing. And it's just leaping to the side or something.
It's more just to try to get it to shoo away rather than actually hit it.
So, Omen.
It's the door now. Is
It
this
is-
bar going to hold it?
It appears to be.
Okay. Then Omen will step up to the one that, if there's space, is there space to help Atlas fight the one he's fighting?
If you come up
Space
the
here.
yeah, that's square, right. That square right there. Yeah.
Yeah, she will do that and give this dog a good roundhouse.
All right. So move your token accordingly, and
I gotta find out where my roundhouse. Oh, it's in fighting.
Martial arts attack.
Yeah, martial.
Nice. This will also ignore half armor.
it gets out of the way of your swinging foot.
Dang.
It is a rate of fire of 2, so you can do another one.
Okay.
If this dog dodges 4 attacks, though, we might be in trouble, guys.
She will bring her knee back up after missing it and try to smack it with her knee. Like a knee right into the jaw.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, that might do it. Hold on. Let's see. 1d20, Ken. I got a 14, so you successfully hit.
Oh, good.
I don't know how much damage that does.
What's your body?
My body? I don't know how to tell you that.
One of the 10 main stats all the way up at the top.
Yeah. It's
Sick.
you do 2d6 damage.
Nice.
How do I?
You can do /roll 2d6. Is probably the easiest way.
7. I got the extremes of my dice.
Okay, so you did 7 points of damage.
Yes.
Angry Bob.
This dog is still here, right? I mean, it's not a good range, but well, do I have a chance of hitting people if I fire at this range?
I believe that is correct, but we have to double check that particular rule because I think that showed up in our
Okay,
play
then
test.
if Bob has, you know what, Bob is going to roll away and use his move to stand up and reposition the flashlight, and then actually I don't know if he can move away. I think he can just stand up. Bob's going to stand up because he doesn't want to be on the floor under a dog. And then shoot over the dog at this one, which I think has been shot before.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a 12. Boom. I need a 16. I got a 20. Or no, I got a 12. I did 20 damage.
Had a 12, did 20 damage.
Yes.
So,
But it's 12 meters away. I needed a 16. Never mind.
okay.
I
so you
did
did
no
that.
damage.
Okay. Surge for, so actually what's going to happen first, I'm going to take, so it's going to attack you. Actually, so you're not, you stood up, right?
I stood up.
Okay. So, it's just going to attack you. 13. So that's what you got to oppose.
That was, is it evasion or should I roll brawl? It doesn't really matter. They're both the same. 18.
Okay. Just give me 1 sec. I'm looking something up.
It should have been my evasion, not brawling, but they're both the same skill. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
although it probably thinks since it's a brawling attack or melee attack, it might get 2 attacks with 1 action. If it's got
For
a
right
rate
now,
of-
they're not getting 2 attacks.
Okay.
So the other ones come surging in.
It's going to be fun.
One goes for Atlas, AC 14. Or sorry, defense 14. I rolled a 14.
And what's the defense against it again?
Evasion.
Evasion. Where's evasion at? Where's evasion at? Is it under control? Oh, fighting, probably. Yeah, there we go. 16.
Okay.
You can't hit me either.
One goes on Omen, 15. So Omen, you got an evasion.
Where is evasion?
Under fighting. Woo!
See, guys are beating my coy dogs. Another one goes for Angry Bob. That will miss, I'm thinking, but maybe not. Angry Bob.
Poor Bob.
Nope. Bob is, shall we say, fumbling for his heavy pistol because this, the assault rifle in his hands is not useful in this really close thing.
All right.
Yep.
But luckily, the armor is just going to take it.
Okay.
I don't know that these coy dogs can actually hurt us.
I don't think
Easily.
they can.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
interesting.
'Cause, But do I have to make a athletics
Yes, you
check
do.
again?
Yes.
Bob, I don't think we should test the theory that they can't hurt us.
All right, so you successfully evade them.
Sorry. I'm going to fire at this one.
Okay.
That would be a hit for 18 damage.
Okay. It
Man, maybe
Atlas-
pistol's the way to go with this. The only reason I'm not using my pistol is I have like 6 ammo left on it. 7 ammo. I don't have a lot of ammunition for it. But my pipe has unlimited. So I'll swing at the one that's attacking Bob, because that's the one that I was swinging at, and it kept evading me. 21. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it this time.
I think so.
I only did 8 damage, though, so I really don't want to hurt it.
So, sorry, which one was the one you were hitting?
The one in front of Angry Bob.
The one north of Angry Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kills it.
Oh, I'm going to feel sad after this. Is there?
Omen?
It's hard to see. Is there one in front of me? Because I do have a
Yes.
second attack. Or do I have to attack that same one?
No, I
You
think
can
you can split up your attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, you can split attacks.
Then I'll
I'm going to
focus
do a
on the one.
side kick into the koi dog's mouth.
So we'll do that, and then we'll resolve Atlas's second attack.
All right. This one I really wanted to hit.
It misses, so you do damage.
Oh, max damage.
Double sixes is
Yeah.
assuming
Yeah,
it's
so-
already.
It is. So you roll another d6. Is that what happens?
Yep.
It's
That's what I did on my damage up there, too. I had double 6s. Oh, wait, maybe not, because it's supposed to be 3D. D6, so never mind.
It drops. You like jaw kick it. There's like that great scene in Resident Evil where one of the undead Dobermans is coming and like main character like swing kicks it and just like knocks it over into the wall. I'm thinking that's kind of what happened. So Atlas, you were taking your second attack.
Yeah, 17.
And Omen, do you have a second attack?
She does.
So let's do Atlas's second attack, and then we'll do your second attack.
Was
Okay.
a 17 for the hit and 23 damage with a critical injury.
So what was your attack roll?
17.
Okay, so you hit, you kill it with your pipe, feeling remorse as you do so. Presumably, right?
Yep.
Given how he
Yeah.
feels about animals.
I was trying to swing away from it, but it did like Angry Bob. It just moved right into the path.
All right, I do not successfully evade.
So Omen will kind of swing her leg and kick that dog over upside its head.
Okay, you
9
pummel it
points of
badly.
damage.
Angry Bob.
Angry Bob is the one to the I'll just ping. Is this one still up?
Hold on, I'm going
The
to
one in front of
more.
Atlas?
No,
that
it's
should have
down.
been the one I just critted.
Okay, but this one is.
I think that's the one I'm beating on.
Yeah.
It's going to make it easier.
Yeah, so let me do this a little bit. Bob's going to take out his one remaining glow stick and throw it deeper in to illuminate the garage a little bit more.
Thank you, that helps. I'm sure there are rules for darkness impeding things, but it doesn't want to get to that level of detail. There's another game we play where that's more important.
Yes.
Somebody, give us a glow stick counter. So you toss the glow stick, I'll just give that to you. What else are you doing?
Well, I don't want to fire into melee combat with Omen there because he's not good with this.
Okay, so the
This gun.
remaining koi dog whimpers and retreats as the rest of its pack has been slain, and it starts moving back to the counter. The pounding on the door has stopped. APT?
Okay, so there's that one left.
Yes.
No, that's
And-
Cerberus.
No, not Cerberus. This one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that's left.
Oh, I see. That's Cerberus. I don't want to shoot at Cerberus.
Go right through Cerberus.
Can I step over this? Is that
Yeah, easily.
okay? I'm going to shoot over Cerberus at this last coin.
Okay.
All right. I think that misses.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Atlas, what's your rate of fire? Do you get another shot, or is it just one?
a rate of fire is 1. Yeah. So
Okay.
let me double check this. 12 meters. Yeah, I needed a 15. Okay. Cool.
Atlas?
I'm seeing the doggies start running away, and I'm just going to put the pipe back on my back, and I'm going to tell everybody, you might want to move away from the door. They did have grenades. and I'm gonna move away from the door. I'm gonna try to like grab the dog just in case it might somehow still be alive and move it away from the door too.
That's nice, but you pulped it. You did a lot of damage to that
Its
one.
head
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
moving.
it's
I'm sorry.
not really recognizable as a dog anymore.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Then I'm just gonna kind of move away from the door, but I'm not gonna like attack the dog.
Gotcha. Omen?
I'm gonna, on Atlas's viewpoint, I'm gonna get some shelter over here in case they do have grenades. Also looking for anything useful, like maybe a car battery, because I doubt that the car battery is still functioning.
Okay. You start glancing around. There's definitely a lot of random boxes, some of which have been opened, but you don't see one lying out.
Okay.
The storm, the howling of the wind suddenly stops. Angry Bob.
Angry Bob's gonna go, no, no, and then shoot at the coy dog with the very heavy pistol. He's gonna step forward, so his voice is kind of moving away from the door, and then take a shot with the very heavy pistol. 8 meters, or just the heavy pistol, not very. I needed a 13. I got a 15. 8 damage.
It is deceased.
Okay.
Oh.
And then Bob, seeing that, will just go and then go silent.
Okay.
He's attempting to make the Glow
Pretend
Boys
he's dead.
think that there is something out in here ripping us apart.
Okay, I got you.
There's a whole bunch of gunfire and then screams, and then everything went silent.
Okay,
And then he just kind of puts his finger to his lips.
so the door continues to be no pounding. The wind continues to have subsided. There isn't an angry thud of a grenade slamming into the door. Everything suddenly is very, very, and we can be out of initiative.
Does Omen find anything useful for the car out there?
Yeah, after rooting around through some various boxes, you do find an old battery, some loose cables. You quickly take some wires, put it to the battery, touch them together. There's a spark.
Is there any way up to the roof?
Of course there is.
Okay. Omen will climb up. I'm going to go check and see where they are. And going to go climb up to the roof access.
Sure, so there's some scaffolding off to the side. Somebody finds a light switch, so I'm gonna turn on lights.
As Omen is looking for car parts, Angry Bob's going to go over to one of the storm shutters and listen to see if there's anybody talking outside.
You do not
Like
hear
a
anybody talking outside.
Movement
Hopefully
or
it's
things
no-
like that.
Okay, so we are now back to, so now you can see the whole of the thing. So there's some scaffolding going around the side. You climb up. You find, some sort of door access hatch. You get up top. The old core is very quiet now. There's some, there's a thin covering of dust over everything, but your skin doesn't burn as you emerge because the radioactive storm has passed. Then the Glow Boys are nowhere to be seen.
Okay. I will return. We're good. They're gone.
That was quick.
Well, thank heavens.
I'm gonna kneel down.
Did they take the car?
Car's still there.
I'm gonna kneel down and just pet this dead dog. Sadly.
A more traumatic downtime for Atlas.
I don't know that she drives real well. I don't know that I repair real well.
So I'm moving you guys
I don't know
back
that
to
that
the...
kibble trick would have worked for very much, especially once we ran out of kibble. So he's saying that to Atlas. He 100% knows that it would have at least bought them some time. But he's trying to make
So-
Atlas feel better.
Omen's going to go and try and hotwire a car with
There
the
happen to be
battery
any
she found.
decent tires in here?
Yeah, I think rooting around, you'll find something that's better than what's on this vehicle right now.
I'd like to get that, and if they have something like the quote-unquote fix-a-flat stuff to kind of basically fill the tire with the sealant foam, because there's probably not a lot of compressed air in this garage anymore.
Sure.
So he'll work on changing tires while Omen is.
How well does Angry
Getting
Bob
there.
know how to change a tire? I mean,
I don't know.
cars are not well established in this time period, right? Like, everything you
Make
know
him-
might be for watching reruns. Of
Would it be
Jeff or
land? Hey,
something.
let's
make
do,
him roll
how about a
for it.
land vehicle tech roll?
Sure.
Well, yeah, instead of DV. I mean,
Right.
what's the DV for this?
Crit success 21.
All right. Yeah, you've watched all of the historical videos about how to do this, and it's your first time actually changing an honest to God tire, but you can do it.
I mean, I have a 0 in the skill and a 4 with what was it? With tech. So, yeah.
Omen as a nomad is easily able to pop the hood, put in the battery. She just works around your. Actually, I think Omen would probably be fairly impressed by Angry Bob changing a tire so deftly.
You must have some nomad blood in you.
And so, for simplicity's sake, Nomad now with a functional car is able to get you guys back out of the hot zone. You can go back out through the pass you came with the gate that you came in. They don't give you any trouble because you had already paid on the way in. And that will end this particular episode of Cyberpunk Red. Next time around, we're going to be, I think, delving in more to the mysteries surrounding Elysium and Hera and all that good stuff. But this is a good break point. So thank you for watching us. If you have questions, feedback, we'd love to hear it. You can leave comments. You can come to YouTube and leave comments and like the videos. And you can always visit us at lairofsecrets.com.